The unspoken love. The pigeon on the roof flew away, flattering its wing and diminished to a pinpoint in the sky. The grey sky now had turned blue and the clouds provided the perfect wall for the sun to peek. The rays of sun now touched the ground, piercing the clouds like a needle piercing a cotton cloth. I spread my hand out the window and felt the sun rays kissing my hand. The rain had stopped. I smiled standing at the window admiring the beauty of nature that just had taken a shower. My phone buzzed. I took the phone out and unlocked it. One message was flashing on the screen. I clicked on the flashing message icon and the text message opened. Hello Vishna. You asked me whether I could come to the cafe or not. Yes, I can. Manvi. I almost jumped and touched the thin air a few times in excitement. I glanced at the wall clock. It showed 9 minutes to 10. I have enough time, I thought, and sat on the bed peacefully. The cool strokes of wind greeted me entering from the open window. I read the message again so as to kill all the doubts and believe this to be a reality. I smiled. Again. I scrolled to the top and started reading our conversation. I had done it on so many occasions that now I remembered the whole of it. So I started to narrate myself the story. I closed my eyes and laid back on the bed and felt like sinking in happiness. So listen, this is how it all began, I told myself. A cute boy met a girl, actually they tumbled on each other. She was in a hurry, and he wanted to apologize. He followed her but she went in where he wasn't allowed, laughing in my head. He too went away. The boy was clever. He had read her name on her books that fell on the ground. He searched her and eventually apologized. She did not mind, was her reply. He was left smiling, and even made her smile, telling how he found her. The first conversation went long, so did the other ones. They got to know each other well, and their views matched. He preferred cricket. So did she. She loved cooking. And he was an excellent chef. Movies were his forte and she watched the first show of the new movie released. Slowly and gradually debates went funny. And names were no longer original. Trust was born. Secrets were shared and happiness was gifted in one form or the other. Now they had decided to meet. She was reluctant. But he too was a magician, and specialized in getting things done. He melted her with his warm praises and flavored it with his sweet talks. I glanced at the wall clock again. I was late. I got up and hurried. I was in the rickshaw when my phone buzzed twice. I knew it was her. She had reached on time and I was late. But I didn't blame Miss Left, but the conversation. It was the culprit. I laughed in my head. The rickshaw pulled by. I paid the fare, letting the driver keep the change. This showed my excitement and urge to meet her. The sun was burning hot, so I quickly made my way in the cafe. The cool air welcomed me. I stood at the entrance looking for her and saw a hand waving for me. It was her. I slowly made my way, traveling through the aisle to the cornermost table where she was sitting, dressed in a beautiful red top and blue denim jeans. Her house will not be did this time, but were all left open, and the brown streaks of her just touching the shoulders. A thing was missing. Her specs, which I realized later, were replaced by contact lenses. I reached the table and slowly dragged the chair opposite to the one she was sitting in. She turned away her face, showing anger as I was late. I took out my diary and pen and scribbled a big "sorry." I tore the page and slipped it in front of her. I saw her give a faint smile. She again turned her face to that angry one, and read the paper. She flipped it and wrote something and untuned her face and folded her arms. I reached out for the paper and it said, "Sorry is accepted, but the sorry fee is still due." I smiled. I looked up and caught her staring. She immediately turned. I sighed, and smiled. I stood up and slowly stepped towards her, and gently planted a kiss on her cheek. She smiled, and raised her eyebrow. I scribbled, "Yeah, sorry fee, the best way I could pay it. And I guess the interest on fee is still left." She smiled on reading the note, and gently hit me on my shoulder. And by this time, our coffee arrived. I sipped the coffee, and was left thinking, how beautiful is life. For instance, two mute people enjoying in the cafe, and having their own way to communicate. A diary and a pen. My thoughts were disturbed by her fruity smell. She returned, holding a platter of heart-shaped cookie. I smiled, and thought, I will break these heart-shaped cookies, but will never break her heart. And took a bite. The end. Thank you for watching.